perfect husband in a bad movie and opened a new folder in my head labeled Game On. The DM that changed my spine. The message sat there like a smoke alarm I'd been ignoring. Are you Maya's husband? She won't return my wire. I clicked the profile. Nurse scrubs in the photo, sunflower in the bio, a dog with a bandana named Moose. I typed, erased, typed again. Yes, I'm her husband. What wire? She answered like she'd been holding her breath. 50,000. My dad's life insurance. She said she'd put it in her staking pool, 15% monthly. She promised I could pull it if I needed it. 15% monthly. The phrase that belongs in a museum of bad decisions. I asked for screenshots. She sent a scroll that could double as a legal exhibit. Contracts with Canva borders, a VIP onboarding doc with typos, and a maturity schedule that looked suspiciously like a pyramid in business casual. The memos matched the voice memos I'd cataloged. Same cadence, same phrases. Liquidity rotation. Principle preserved. My wife, reading from a teleprompter she built. Then a voice note from the nurse. Hey Maya, it's Kat. I'm just checking in. It's been 3 weeks. I really need the funds. My landlord. Her voice cracked, and I felt something inside me tilt and lock. I played it next to Maya's rehearsal memo and caught the echo of the same we've never missed. Copy, paste, villainy. Something hit me sideways. I'd been living in spreadsheets and sarcasm, but hearing Kat's voice felt like opening a door and finding a person on the other side of the numbers. Not a data point, a rent check, a dead dad, a dog named Moose. The house got very quiet. The kind of quiet where you hear your own heartbeat argue with your excuses. A hot, stupid part of me wanted to pretend I hadn't heard it. Close the phone. Stay married to the fantasy. Let boundaries be the blanket I hid under. I asked Kat how they met. Facebook group. She offered to look at my finances for free. Said she helps women build legacy wealth. Legacy wealth. The calculator in my head started screaming. I kept it together. Do you have the wire details? She sent the bank receipt. I stared at the receiving account and felt my blood go cold. I'd seen that account in the printer cache, disguised as Pastor J or Aunt Liz. Collections of pain, alphabetized. What did she promise in writing? Another screenshot. Guaranteed 15% monthly. Withdrawals within 48 hours for VIPs. Hand signed with a flourish like a waitress autographing a napkin. I didn't know whether to rage or laugh. I did neither. I thanked Kat, promised to look into it, and asked her not to confront Maya yet. Please, it could make it worse. She wrote back a single heart emoji I didn't deserve. Here's the pivot. Clean, ugly, final. Up until that minute, a draft of me still wanted to fix the marriage. Apologize better. Ask softer. Be supportive. Kat's voice closed that tab. I felt the click, like a breaker flipping in my chest. I stopped trying to be her husband. I became her accountant. Not the cute kind with a calculator mug, the kind who audits. My job changed in one breath. Preserve evidence, protect victims, return principal, and let the badges handle the rest. Love didn't get a vote anymore. Ledgers did. The house had been snitching. The logs had been singing. But here was a person with rent and grief and a dog named Moose waiting for a promise my wife sold her. The floor under my denial dropped. The anger grew legs and walked somewhere useful. I couldn't unknow Kat's voice. I couldn't unhear the rehearsal. I couldn't keep pretending this was messy marketing. I scrolled back through our life like surveillance footage. The client dinners, the cash withdrawals, the Flatiron spaceship humming at 2 a.m. It all lined up into a shape that looked like court. I aired out my guilt in the kitchen and set up a new folder called Spine. Inside, Kat screenshots, audio, bank details. I matched the receiving account to a routing path on Etherscan, then to a watch-only wallet. Ping. The money had swum through a mixer 2 days after her wire landed. Outbound splits, dusted across addresses I'd already tagged from the color code cipher. No staking, no pool, just a laundry cycle. I messaged Kat again. If you had to describe Maya's pitch, what stood out? She wrote, she said I couldn't lose. She sounded kind. She remembered my dad's name. I had to sit down. That line is a surgical tool. She didn't just sell numbers. She sold being seen. Anger sharpened into a job description. My job was to end this clean, with receipts that didn't wobble and refunds that didn't bounce. So I made a rules list. No public scenes until the money is secure. No half confrontations. Document everything like a petty CPA who sleeps with a label maker. I pulled up a fresh spreadsheet and titled it Bones. Column A, victim handle. Column B, inbound wire details. Column C, wallet hops. Column D, status. I plugged Kat in and watched the row populate like a crime growing roots. I ran OSINT like a dad trying to fix Wi-Fi. Cross-checked the Facebook group she mentioned. Maya had a halo there, daily posts, Mindset Mondays, raffles for Starbucks gift cards if you booked a discovery call. I pulled comments and DMs. Patterns jumped. The same phrases, the same urgency, the same promise wrapped in pastel graphics. I scraped usernames, checked public posts, found photos of women on Zoom calls with Maya's VIP cohort background. A little army of hope. I recorded a screen capture of the entire funnel, landing page with a timer that never hit 0. Calendly link renamed capital placement call. Testimonials that all used the same adjectives. I reverse image searched 3 profile photos and found 2 were stock. One was a fitness influencer from 2018 who definitely never met my wife. I logged it in Bones. Proof stack getting heavier. Then I pulled up the iCloud voice folder again and found a memo I had skipped, labeled Nurse, Objections. She literally rehearsed answers to, "My landlord is asking," and "It's my dad's money." I listened to her practice empathy like scales. "I hear you, and that's why this is perfect for you." I almost threw my phone. Instead, I clipped the audio, timestamped it, and wrote "cat match" in a note so big it looked like a billboard. And because I'm me, I reached out to one more profile I found in the comments. "Hey, random question. Have you ever wired funds to Maya?" The reply came with a photo of a wire receipt for 30 grand and a prayer hands emoji. 2 victims in 10 minutes. My DMs had turned into a triage tent. I looked over at the living room where Maya was flipping through tabs on her laptop, the glow of her ring light catching her cheekbones just so. She laughed at something and shouted, "Babe, do you want sushi tonight?" My mouth said, "Sure." My fingers kept typing. The snooping era ended right there. The case-building era began. Building the case, like a petty CPA. I opened a fresh spreadsheet and named it Vindication, because petty needs branding. Columns for wallet, timestamp, amount, hop path, moon emoji, present, UPN. I mapped every transfer against her pastel calendar. When she wrote SOL double moon, 3 wallets split like an amoeba and hit the mixer at 2:07 a.m. I color-coded shame. Her exchange accounts were shells with cutesy emails, wellness, .coach, plus signs like she was signing up for a yoga retreat. I checked her drafts folder because criminals forget drafts exist. Jackpot. Recovery prompts like, "If you forgot your password," complete with phone numbers she thought were clever burners. I cross-checked them with the guest network MAC vendor tags. Same model, same carrier, same bad decisions. IP matches were the chef's kiss. The inbound emails to her VIP cohort traced to our home IP. Guest network sessions overlapped with the router spikes, and one MAC address, "Hello, Nico P phone," kept ghosting in at night, staying long enough to finish a sweep and a snack. I exported logs and slapped them into Vindication. Row after row turned green like I was speedrunning an audit. I set up a watch-only wallet mirror using the XPub from the Flatiron stash. No keys, no touching, just eyes. I created alerts so loud my phone sounded like a slot machine with asthma. Every twitch pinged me. When a tagged address received funds, I noted the coin, the amount, the hop count. Patterns emerged so obvious even a motivational poster could see them. I automated my phone like a raccoon with a PhD. I built a shortcut. When the Notes app opens and a phone call starts, record 5 seconds of audio, stash it in a hidden album, and email me with a boring subject line. Grocery list update, so nothing looked spicy. Suddenly, I had a time-stamped list of client calls. Weird coincidence. Those aligned with new deposits titled, "Thanks, Queen." Then I got mean in a wholesome way. I created a honey trap investor using my friend's old domain, something innocuous like Alpine Family Office, new email, fake assistant name, the works. We sent a polite inquiry to Maya's capital placement link. She replied at light speed with a slick one-pager, cross-chain yield, principal preserved, 15% monthly, limited capacity. My fake assistant asked for a live demo and a sample dashboard. She scheduled us. I set reminders, brewed coffee, and plugged in 3 recording methods because I'm a belt and suspenders kind of narc. Meanwhile, Bones, the victim tracker, grew ribs. I added handles, wire receipts, wallet entries. I grouped them by source, Facebook group, Instagram DMs, referral. The referral ladder looked like a brunch pyramid. The top got selfies with Maya. The bottom got silence. I wrote refund priority, bottom up, because chaos likes symmetry. I pulled iCloud backups she forgot existed. Old iPhone images with 2-factor codes from exchanges she swore she didn't use. I stitched the codes to the support emails in her drafts. "Hi team, my VIP client can't log in. Translate, I locked myself out of a burner." She'd attach a selfie with a sticky note date, the universal sign of hostage proof. I cataloged them, filed each under exhibit with the exchange and timestamp. I did OSINT on Nico like I was crushing on his data. The anime avatar led to a GitHub with half-finished DeFi toys and a Medium post called "Privacy is a Human Right," which is code for "I wash money." His LinkedIn still bragged about a hackathon from college and a stealth startup. I matched his handle to a Telegram username that popped up in Maya's notifications, muted, of course, right before nightly sweeps. I logged everything, then built a little chart labeled WHO's Who and Who's Lying. For my sanity, I wrote a playbook. Objective: stop the sweep, secure proof, issue refunds, forward evidence, detonate brand. Milestones: 1. Establish watch-only coverage on all active routes. 2. Capture a full live pitch. 3. Verify ownership via recovery routes. 4. Prep refund flows with multi-sig time locks. 5. Pre-draft emails to victims with screenshots that even a defense lawyer wouldn't argue with. I checked boxes as I went. Petty CPA energy, immaculate. To prove control without touching hotkeys, I restored one seed from the hair color cipher to a test wallet offline and compared derived addresses to my watch list. Perfect overlap. I took photos of the mnemonic reconstruction, obscured 2 words, and timestamped them next to a local paper. If a Fed asked me how I knew, I could point without sweating. I mocked up a dashboard for the agents I'd later call, an unlisted video walking through the entire conveyor belt. Wires in, splits, bridges, tumbles, and the dead end where honest returns should be. I narrated calm, like a cooking channel for fraud. Here we add a splash of hope, and here we flash freeze it in a privacy pool. I hated how easy it was to make it clear. I ran a tiny live test, a $50 stablecoin transfer from one of my decoy wallets into a route I knew she monitored. Within 30 minutes, my alert chimed. A split occurred. The dust traveled exactly 2 hops before kissing a known mixer address. No staking, no yield, just extraction. I recorded the hop trace, overlaid my $50 with 3 victim amounts moving in parallel. Side by side, it looked like choreography. I wrote same-day removal in red. For audience participation, yes, you in the comments, hi. I asked myself out loud, could there be a legit version of this? Then I tried to build one on paper. It broke at the first promise, guaranteed. The only thing guaranteed here was my blood pressure medication. 2 late nights in, I had the skeleton of a case file that could stand up in a stiff breeze. I labeled folders: network, routes, pitch, victims, dev, hardware. I printed a 1-page index that said, start here if you hate confusion. When you chase liars, you have to hold their story tighter than they do. I held it like a receipt. I leaned back, blinked at my wall of tabs, and realized I'd become the tax auditor of her fantasy. It felt gross and good. I saved everything 3 times, uploaded a copy to a Deadman link with my attorney friend, and closed the laptop. The honey trap demo was in 48 hours. I wanted her script in 4K. Then I wanted the lights out. The demo, the slip, the partner. Demo day. Our Alpine family office assistant sent the link, and Maya arrived 5 minutes early in a blazer sharp enough to open mail. Ring light at perfection, background blurred to hide the chaos, smile calibrated for trust. So happy to meet you, she told my fake assistant, and by extension, me. We only take on a handful of sophisticated partners. Sophisticated partners. I wore sweatpants off camera and nodded like old money. She launched into jargon confetti. Cross-chain yield platform. Principal preserved, liquidity rotation protects downside. She shared her screen, a dashboard with glowing numbers and green arrows so green they ate salad. I recognized the fonts from Canva and the addresses from my watch-only list. She moved the mouse slowly over APR 15%, letting it linger like a buffet shrimp you're not sure is safe. I hit record 3 ways: system audio, screen capture, and a literal phone propped against a mug. Paranoid? Correct. She clicked into Client Cat, VIP, and my soul did a backflip. Here's an example of a nurse who wanted steady growth, she chirped, as if she hadn't dodged Cat's calls for weeks. She tapped a graph that didn't graph anything. You'll notice our consistency. I'll notice my blood pressure. My fake assistant lobbed softballs. How fast can we deploy? Within hours. Who handles night operations? She smiled, a little too bright. We have a dev team. Vague enough to float. I needed her to trip. I put on my principal voice and asked, walk me through a sweep, start to mixer. Not the brochure version, the valves and levers. Her eyes did a micro flinch, then she smoothed. We don't use mixers. Lie. We use privacy pools. Rebranded lie. At night, funds reposition to optimize. Bridges, minimizing slippage. I tilted my head. Who hit send? She said. Our automation handles it. I pushed. Automation has a name. She laughed. Okay, it's mostly me. Progress. And? She blinked. And my team. I leaned in. Names help me sleep, she said, breezy. Nico moves funds at night. Silence. Even my mug tilted its ear. She tried to keep it moving. Anyway, the dashboard. I held up a hand. Nico? She waved it off. Our Web3 engineer. Like I didn't have an Ethernet cord tied to his digital ankle. I made a neutral noise and marked the timestamp. Slip. I let her continue, and she got cocky. She opened a tab labeled DevOps without realizing her screen share was still on. Telegram flickered. A chat with N1 CEO Undrikir X popped a new message. You good for sweep 9P? Her eyes went wide. Then she dragged the window off screen so fast it squealed. Sorry, notifications. I smiled. Happens. We asked for proof of reserves. She pulled up a wallet address that matched my watch list and showed a balance that looked impressive until you recognized half of it as pending inbound from victims who thought they were boarding a rocket ship. We keep hot exposure minimal, she said. Under the table, my phone buzzed. Watch alert. She had moved a tiny test amount, probably to show motion. I traced it live while nodding like a golden retriever. It hit the exact bridge she said she didn't use. I resisted the urge to hold my phone to the camera and say, "You're on live TV, sweetheart." I shifted to due diligence. Compliance? She parried. We're private. Custody? Distributed? She said buzzwords the way chefs say umami. My assistant asked about lockups. She said, 30-day standard, but VIPs can exit in 48 hours. I said, we'd need an accelerated pathway. She perked up. For you? Same day. I wrote in my notes, lies scale to perceived wallet size. Then I pivoted to culture, the thing scammers hate. Who are you accountable to? She softened her voice like a therapist. My clients. I treat their money like it's my own. Considering the shopping, accurate. I said, how did you build this? She gave a founder myth about helping women with money trauma, sprinkled with legacy wealth. I could practically hear the Canva templates flipping. I needed Nico confirmed. While she monologued, I sent a DM from a fresh handle to N1CCO_X on Telegram. Heard you're Maya's dev. Looking for help with nightly rotations. 3 dots appeared. Who sent you? I replied, Alpine Family Office. He wrote, LOL then. What do you need? I screenshotted his typing bubble like it was a comment. Back on Zoom, I asked for an org chart. She dodged. I asked for a term sheet. She promised one after onboarding. I asked for references. She offered 3, and I recognized 2 stock headshots and 1 real person who used to post latte art and now posted affiliate codes. I said, we'll need to verify flows end to end before we drop 7 figures. She nodded fast enough to generate wind. I can show you a live sweep tonight. There it was. Window opened. She sent a calendar invite for 9 p.m., the witching hour candlelit by bridge fees and mixer fumes. After we ended the call, I sat there listening to the hiss of the ring light cooling. My recording saved. My phone buzzed again. Telegram. Nico. We bill by percentage. Night Ops Premium. I typed, standard. He wrote, we sweep at 9. Don't ping her then. Confirmation, in lowercase. I dumped the Zoom into my case file and scrubbed through to mark the gold. The slip, the dashboard, the denial about mixers, the Nico text pop. I clipped her saying, guaranteed 15% monthly, with the tone of a guided meditation. I cut a supercut of principal preserved because the agents would need a drinking game. Then I ran OSINT on Nico's number from Telegram, twinned to a cheap SIM, same carrier as the guest network Mac vendor. I pulled his iCloud leaks through a public breach checker. Old backups surfaced, screenshots of burner SIM receipts, a split sheet labeled Maya Nico 6040, and a notes app list titled Things to Buy After Series A that included a real espresso machine and lawyer Lelo. I laughed. I couldn't help it. The audacity smelled like cologne. But the funny part stuck in my throat. In her screen share, for a half second, I'd seen a folder on her desktop. Refund script. She had a script for refunds she didn't send. I paused on the frame. The file preview showed the first line. We're processing delays due to compliance. I stopped reading. I didn't need to. The plan was set. Big sweep at 9. Window open. And I had names, dates, words, and a dev who answered DMs with LOL. Perfect. The plan. Freeze, refund, expose. Objective time. No speeches, no hero cape. Just a checklist with teeth.